How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your weekly forecast of what the heck is going on in the universe. I am in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. However, I got this sweet view of the mountains. It looks really small on my camera, but those are fucking huge, and they're like right there. Yeah, I DJ'd a wedding in Snowmass Village, which, if you don't know where that's at, it's basically like right next to Aspen, Colorado. So it was like perfect time to get a really cool shot for my video. So that's what I'm here, that's what I'm doing, and here we go. What's going on this week, guys? Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong page. So, this week, pretty interesting week, because from what we experienced this last week, how it was really like, it wasn't, you know, so crazy. It was just more of like gaining clarity, gaining more insight, kind of just being with yourself and that kind of stuff. This week's gonna start changing some stuff around. And on Sunday and Monday, we're gonna have the moon in Scorpio. It's gonna be making a grand water trine on Monday with Neptune and the sun and Mars. And with this moon in Scorpio after the moon in Libra, like the Libra Scorpio cusp, I should say, is like one of my favorites, because you go from this place of understanding, of peacefulness, of bliss, of acceptance, of gratitude, of appreciation, of abundance, and all that stuff. And then you move over to Scorpio, where it gets intense, and then you get passionate, you get emotionally invested, you get deep with yourself, and you're ready to do what it takes, I guess is the best way to say it, to do what it takes to get what it is that will emotionally fulfill you at that time, when the moon is transiting in Scorpio, or if you have a natal moon in Scorpio. So as this grand water trine happens, this is going to be a really big reflective time of your own personal emotional energy and where you've been investing in a lot. With this, you know, Cancer season, with the sun and Mercury being in there, it's been really intense for a lot of us. We've been, you know, reclusive. We've been, you know, trying to break out of our shell. We've been learning about relationships. We've been learning about nurturing. We've been learning about healing, all that kind of stuff. And as this water trine happens, it's like as the moon goes into Scorpio and it builds up for this full moon that we're having this week, it's time to start getting really invested into that. Like, what is this full moon going to mean to you? You know what I mean? Like, I always tell people don't waste their energy. However, with this full moon in Capricorn, as Scorpio builds up, it's going to be sextiling, you know, Scorpio basically sextiles Capricorn. So it's building up that energy. We're going from Libra, where it was squaring, to Scorpio, where we have a lot more abundant energy. And where was I going with that? As the moon goes into Scorpio, it's that time to get emotionally invested. It's that time to get emotionally raw with yourself. It's that time to go, okay, what does this mean to me? Why are all these feelings coming up? And what do I need to do with them? This is Scorpio energy. This is the time to purge. This is the time to get it all out. This is the time to refocus on things. And sorry, yeah, I'm next to a road in case you guys couldn't tell. However, and so on Wednesday, when we have the moon, what is that? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, on Wednesday, as we have the moon go into Sagittarius, this is the whole Scorpio to Sagittarius energy. So honestly, from Libra to Capricorn is such an amazing little time. So as the moon goes into Sagittarius, it's time to, you know, purge out those emotions. It's time to go forward. It's time to move forward with things. And on Wednesday too, we're going to have Venus moving into Gemini, and it will be opposing the moon in Sagittarius. And so when we had Venus in Taurus, everything's a little bit slower, everything's a little bit more calm. You have a little bit more control over things and all that kind of good stuff. And as Venus moves into Gemini, even though it's opposing this moon, even though we just got all over this emotional, you know, stuff that we had to release, all this emotional stuff that we had to purge out, as the moon goes into Sagittarius and wants you to expand and wants you to go farther and go into the certain direction that you want to, Venus in Gemini is going to really want you to look at what you got around you. We're still not done with the Gemini energy. And as Venus transits into Gemini, it's kind of like having that peacefulness and that love and that abundance of understanding of what's mentally stimulating and what's around in your, like what's surrounding you. It's kind of like the Gemini energy is kind of like, well, we're stuck here. We might as well, you know, it's kind of like if you get broke down and you're in the middle of nowhere and you have, you know, imagine there was a small town here and I got broke down. It's kind of the Gemini energy in me would be like, well, let's go see who lives here. What's going on here? What's the stuff to do here? It's about getting fully involved in your environment and learning what you can do with it. What kind of relationships can you make? What kind of people can you meet? All that kind of good stuff. And as Venus moves into Gemini, even though it's going to be a little bit difficult, you want to go in one certain direction, be open to all the possibilities that are out there for you. There's a lot of shit going on, especially as we go into Friday. However, on Wednesday and Thursday, the moon will also conjunct Saturn. It'll also be sextiling Jupiter. It'll be quincunxing Mars. Then on Thursday, Mercury moves into Leo, and this is when shit gets interesting, because as Mercury moves into Leo and it hits 1 degree, so will Venus. Venus will hit 1 degree Gemini. So they're going to be sextiling from 1 degrees to 5 degrees, as far as I've looked. I haven't really checked that far. However, from 1 degrees to 5 degrees yeah, 1 degree is 5 degrees. It'll be sextiling perfectly for the couple days of the week. So be really open to that energy and what that kind of means to you and what that can interpret into your life. As Venus moves into Gemini, this is being more open about your surroundings. This is being more not vulnerable, just more understanding, being in that moment, being in that being in your head rather than in your heart. Because there's certain times where you should be in your heart, should be in your true self, and there's other times where you should do what's right. Use your logic, use your common sense. And as Mercury moves into Leo, Mercury in Cancer has been kind of like, am I doing everything right? Is everything okay? Am I protected? Am I nurtured? Am I this? Am I that? And as it moves into Leo, it's kind of like this whole wake-up call of like, oh yeah, I'm fucking great. I'm fucking fine. Everything's moving forward. I'm ready to take things on. And even though Mercury in Leo, you could definitely tend to start beating yourself up a little bit. Don't get caught up in that stuff. Don't get caught up in the hurt ego, the bruised ego. That's what a lot of Leo energy can be. However, as Mercury moves into Leo, this is the time to really wear it, like, be proud of who you are. Be proud of, what you've done. Be proud of your accomplishments, where you've come from, and get that mindset of, being bold, being courageous, having fun, and giving love too. As Mercury moves into Leo, we go into love season. Like, Leo is all about love, all about abundance, all about giving, all about leadership. And as Mercury moves into there, it's time to get that into our minds and start using that as an everyday practice. So then on Friday, this is where it gets interesting. We're going to have a yod as Venus and Mercury are 3 degrees, Gemini and, Gemini and Leo. They're both going to be quincunxing the moon exactly at 0 degrees Capricorn. And this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting, because right as the moon moves into Capricorn, we get ready for the full moon. It was kind of like, the moon in Sagittarius is always like, oh, let's escape. Oh, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's not be here. Let's go somewhere else. We need to move forward. As the moon moves into Capricorn, and with all this Cancer energy that we're still in, it's kind of like, what are we doing with all this? Where is it that we're actually going? And with this moon going into Capricorn, it's about getting real about what you're getting yourself into. What commitments are you going to make for the next 30 days, for the next lunar cycle? Where is your energy going to be placed at? Because this is kind of like that time period of where whatever energy that you have at this point, you're going to be wearing it for the next 30 days. And as the moon goes into Capricorn, you can be very detached from your emotions, very cold, very sarcastic, very avoidance of emotion. However, as the moon goes into Capricorn and it has this little yacht effect going on, use that Venus and that Leo energy, or I should say the Venus and that Mercury energy of getting more in tune with what your surroundings are and what you have to bring to the table in your surroundings, in your environment. What can you do right now? How can you feel right now? How can you love right now in order to get the emotions and get the experience and get the essence of what it is that you want to create? Basically what that means is like, if you want something, you visualize it, you want to manifest it, you got to wear its essence. What I've been saying this for a while, to think is to create, to feel is to attract, to act is to achieve. And with this Venus and this Mercury energy doing this little yod to the moon, this is about feeling to attract. What are you feeling? What are you attracting? Because it's going to be a really good reflection. All your surroundings are going to be a great reflection this week of what exactly it is that you're feeling. So be very clear. And on Saturday, when we have this full moon in Capricorn, even though it's going to be conjuncting Pluto, things are going to be different. Things are going to be a little bit unsettling. And it will be opposing Mars as well. The biggest thing is that you just got to be committed and comfortable with where you're at. Capricorn energy is very, very comfortable. Is this on? Okay. Capricorn energy is very comfortable. Capricorn wants to be in a homey environment, but in control. Kind of like Taurus energy, but Taurus just wants to be able to relax. Capricorn wants somewhere to focus. Capricorn wants somewhere to be, like, they want that more of that control aspect. And so as the moon goes into Capricorn, what are you wanting to take control over? What are you wanting to focus on? Do you want to break out of your shell? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be, comfortable? Do you want to be right? Like, what is it that you want? And get focused on that, because Capricorn can manifest it for you. You just have to be able to wear the energy. And the biggest thing is that with this Capricorn and Cancer effect, it's like you have all this power, you have all this raw emotion to give out and do. However, you hold yourself back from your emotions. And this full moon's really about detaching from your emotions. It's, we've experienced our emotions. We've learned a lot this week, or this past week, I should say, in the past couple of weeks. Now it's time to move forward and kind of get a grip on reality. What's going on? What are the real things? This is Capricorn energy. Like, how much money are we making? What are the numbers? All that kind of good stuff. So this as this week goes on and we go to this full moon, be very clear about what it is that you are wanting to create, where you are wanting to go, and what that experience looks like to you, and how you can make it the best for yourself. And that's kind of intertwining everything in like one sentence. However, that's really what's going to be your best bet. And then on Sunday, the moon will be squaring Uranus, and Venus will start trining Jupiter. This is going to put a lot more positive emphasis onto relationships, onto your personal self, onto money for sure. And even though the moon will square Uranus, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. After this full moon, you're going to be like, oh, did I make the right decision? You might be beating yourself up. Things are going to be happening left and right, up and down. There's going to be a little bit of chaotic energy afterwards. However, when the moon moves into Aquarius, we'll have a lot better energy with stuff, and especially as the moon moves into Pisces later on next week, that's when we'll start experiencing a lot more at peace energy. So that's what I got for you guys. There's like a huge storm coming like right here, so I do have to go. I got like a 5-hour drive back to Denver. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching all my videos, for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I appreciate the fuck out of all of you. And to this is no personal offense, however, everyone was like, yeah, you got to stop, you know, cussing and all that kind of stuff, which, I mean, I appreciate the feedback. However, it's really hard to channel when you have to limit what you can say. And I see fuck and any other curse word as a very effective way to get people to listen and to get people, you know, paying attention to what I'm saying. It's one of those trigger words. So if I offend you in any way, I'm not sorry, because that's not my problem, and I don't mean it in an offensive tone, so I don't apologize. However, there's a lot of other great astrologers that don't cuss. However, I like to do it my way. This is my channel. This is my channel. This is both my channel and my channel. So, yeah, that's what I got for you guys. It's going to be an awesome week. Thank you guys again for everything. If you'd like to book a reading, feel free to send me an email at whitelightastrology@gmail.com. Follow me on my social media at Twitter, Instagram. Please check out my SoundCloud. I like super appreciate everyone that listens to my SoundCloud. And that's what I got. So I'm sending you guys a lot of love, a lot of light, a lot of abundance like usual, and I'll be seeing you next week.